Flat Earth British, Martin speaking. Oi oi oi, peeps, oi oi oi. Welcome to the 30th of January 2018, or so they say. Okay, we are on the threshold of a great awakening. 2019, or so they say, awaits us. So, first things first, peeps. Thanks for, actually I've lost count. I think it's 14,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm very, very grateful. Seems this happens quite a bit, but I am grateful. This vlog will be a roller coaster ride. Okay, it will be monumental, and there will be excellent information right the way throughout, right to the end. Okay, now what we're going to look into is, it could be, I suppose, groundbreaking evidences for the existence of Tartaria and more. We have an issue of the Masonic Edinburgh 1771 Encyclopedia of Britannica's version of the boundaries for Great Tartaria. And we're going to couple that with another book, which is the only mass evidences or mass knowledge of the Tartarians that I have found in the John Strew's book. And we're going to cross-reference that with somebody who sent a letter in this morning, or a page from a book. What I do is I send homework out, books, and then people read them. Any gold, they send them back. A lady sent a page of a book back this morning from one that I have sent out, and it is stating that we stole science from Tartaria. Interested? Thought you might be. So, and then we're going to look into a book that come my way. Well, I have had for quite a while actually, but I didn't look it over. And it's called The Book of Magic. But it's not. It's a book of how to distill water, how to change seawater into drinkable, how to grow foods massive, how to program water. This book is legendary, but one of the best things in there is the quite common practice of hybridization or cross species of humanity. They breed, they go into some detail. Doghead people, which are all over depictions in the Middle Ages, and Goatman. Goatman is quite popular as well. There's chapters on artificial fire, where they talk about Greek fire, lost to humanity for thousands of years, until today. And other things besides. Getting us down to images of the day at the end. These ones are superb, and a bit of a whammy with them too. In fact, everything in this is a whammy. Okay, so I want to thank you all for an epic year that we've just had, which has just been monumental. Okay, I love it when people are lovely and work together. Pleases me no end, guys. Pleases me no end. Keep it coming. Please continue to subscribe. Okay, if you like what you see in this video and you're new to my channel, okay, please like and subscribe. Okay. Stem the flow, because people subscribe me and a few days later they are mysteriously unsubscribed from me. Okay, and things like that. Okay, so I've been on different shows. I was on D Marble's show. D Marble loves mud flood stuff, so he's right on board, and was on there a couple of nights ago with epic Richard Lopez. So there was the three of us chewing a fat about mud flood. I'll put a link in the box for that. You may want to check that out. Okay, it was a real cool one. Okay, so let's get underway with the juice, guys. There's a lot in this. Okay, now buckle in. As I always say, I'm going to premiere this later sometime. It's Sunday, so probably a bit later. Okay, so if you are in chat now, all you beautiful people, okay, make sure to subscribe. Okay, my organite turned up. A lady delivered that, sent it. She has a Facebook site that sells these. When you put your hand above it, you feel like a cold air coming off it. Highly unusual, but highly effective. Felt the difference in the house, the flat, since I've had that a lot. Okay, Apparently it evolves. Okay, so I'm evolving. Okay. Information now. Make sure to please subscribe, guys. Okay. Okay, now we got an epic new year to come. There is so much happening on Flat Earth British. It's going to be difficult to put into words, but subscribe and join me on this ride this year, okay? You will love it. All of it. All of it will be the ride of your life, as well as mine. Because I'm taking you all with me. Sweet. So, Tartaria. What is it? My nephew was here earlier. He's a doctor. And he loves flat earth stuff, but he's really interested in this field. So explain to him British Empire is possibly not the greatest empire there ever was. Tartaria. Who are they? Well, we're going to tie a few things in here, guys. It's going to make a lot more sense by the end of the post. Concerning Tartaria, I mean. Okay. Great Tartaria found. Okay. And more. So, rejoice, people. This is my New Year's present to you all. Happy days. Oh, I love it. So, if you're not familiar with Tartaria, I'm a bit confused about the maps. Some show it just being the above bit, Siberia. Somebody mentioned yesterday, did Tunguska take out the last remnants of Tartaria? Well, I crossed my mind that I don't really think the evidence is substantial enough. You know, the photography crew's going not 25 years after the occasion. Not sure. Anyway, so some maps say it's all this top bit, but as you can see, Tartaria independent. But they got China here, but in endless evidences I've put out, China is Tartaria as well. So it seems to be the entire Asian continent. Other Tartaria maps show it as this. As you can see, you've got Grand Tartaria all the way to the Pacific coast of Asia. Okay. But this peninsula here, what is it? Is it Nova Zelima? What is this? And what is this? And what is this weird peninsula? Let's have a look. So it's not there, is it, the peninsula? So is it this? Is it Nova Zelima? Is it this? So what peninsula are we looking at? What we get is a very, very large mountain. When you look closely, it's a tent. Okay, so this seems to be up in the tundra and Siberia. Okay, so this is the Pacific coast, and I suppose this is America. Alaska, it must be. So this could be the Bering Straits. It's difficult to say. So I'm really confused by that map and its projections. And it comes further south. I have traced these different peoples of Tartaria, which we're going to go through now. And as you can see, it's that big. And as the British Empire did on their maps when I was a kid, right guys, the teacher used to stand me in front of the map on the wall and used to entertain the class. He used to give me this stick and he used to say a place and I used to point to it straight away, like, you know, showing off. And which used to fascinate all the kids in the class and the teachers. But I collect atlases, and I can't remember ever seeing Tartaria in my life, guys, in my childhood, ever. Okay, reference to Tartars, yeah, and Tara and Tata, and when you got a little baby in Wales, you what people say in Wales, I don't know if it's the same in England, guys, is you say you come in the Tatters, yeah, Tatters. It's in our language, but something else will come to light today. Okay, which is very thought-provoking. So India's doesn't seem to be in it, but this swathe and China as well is all one nation. And Africa is the same sort of colour, so is Africa also. Arabia certainly seems to be. Okay, Muscovy is just a small sliver down to the Caucasus, and Tartaria Desert, which I take it is the Gobi. Okay, now their capital city, according to the John Strew's book, which I'll show you in a minute, is a city up by here somewhere. Now I think because the book was from the basically the Dutch Navy, who were the East India Company, so you can't really trust them. I think they were probably telling lies. I think that the capital was further south, actually, guys. Actually, I think the capital may have been Kiev. I'll tell you why I think that now in a minute. Now, so if you're not familiar, you are now. Tartaria, and thought to be, as you can see, is so close to America, it would take nothing for them to walk or catch boats or whatever across the Bering Strait into Alaska and work their way down into America. And what I've been studying, and I'm going to show you in this post, is the west coast of America, as in Oregon, Vancouver, and as you know, I came down to California, but I'm further north. Something that I found, which I'll show you in this post. So, epic posts being put up there, by the way, guys. I'm just so, like, spoiled lately. It's just so amazing. Really amazing experience. Now, Tartaria also appear in the tundra. Now, so that is what this post is going to be getting at. Now, there's very limited information. There is a website out there, the Tartaria website. There's other ones, and you get random links like this. Okay. Theogenesis, okay, Tartaria of 1600, Fomenko, and Al are right to say that history in Russian has been widely distorted, though their conclusions are often highly speculative and sometimes even proven wrong. This map is an English mapmaker, Jenkinson, of 1562, and it shows you that same sort of tent. Peninsula's not there, but it says Tartaria, and it's north of the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea. Okay, so the Latvia, Belarus, the Ukraine is definitely there, and all of it. So it comes a lot further south, maybe into the Ottoman Empire. Maybe the Ottomans just a ruse for these, as well as Rome and Greece. Anything that is this build, okay, I'll show you how they live in pictures later. Okay, it's superb. Okay, this culture is superb, I'll show you. So, anything they find like this sort of architecture, they just attribute to Greece or Rome. So, Belarus, Johannes, Emperor of Russia, and Duke of Muscovy is of course Ivan the Terrible. He does not rule over the great empire of Muscovy, and Tartaria is a distinct country, a distinct country. So it's next to Muscovy, so that is Ukraine. Okay, the distinction is old and beginning of the 6th century. Maps based on Ptolemy, which gives you the name plain author. Displayed Asian, Sarmatian, Russian. I think there might be something missing there. And these guys, this is what we want to look at. Scathia. Okay, the capital of Scathia is Kiev. For Tartary. So, and Tartarian is the modern name. Tartarian Russian is clearly different countries for a long time. And the map is 1562. There is no capital of Tartaria, but I'll show you by 1733. Okay, or a bit earlier actually, there very much is. Okay, so this is sort of how the mainstream, I would guess, think about it all. Okay, common history tells us Karakorum was founded in 1220. You see what I mean? And the capital of Genghis Khan, first great Khan, and that town was in modern Mongolia, in Kumalash, replaced by Kamakura in 1260 as the capital of the 5th great Khan Kublai. In Xanadu did Kublai Khan pleasure dome decree erect. So he apparently built Xanadu, this mystical city, which nobody knows where it is. So Marco Polo talks of the Tartars. We're going to look into that as well. Okay, by the Book of Wonders, Marco Polo. Now he doesn't talk about the Great War being there, guys, but he does talk about his meetings with Tartarians, which we're going to talk about, and I'll show you the Book of Wonders and give it to you so you can read it over the weekend. Brilliant depictions, I love it all. Okay, so probably Ivan Terrible lived at the same time as Genghis Khan, so they're bringing Genghis Khan into a more recent time frame as what it should be. Okay. Khan, I am not completely close to the idea that Buta Khan could be a predecessor. Johannes argued flamenco now, so they're talking flamenco anyway. Okay, which I partly go with, but not completely, because he's not from we're not from the same standpoint, as in I'm a flat earther. Okay, Constantinople. So I'll pass this link to you. It's based on some bullshit, obviously, but it gives you an idea of the 1600 state of Tartaria. It's that widespread. Okay, at the same time as America has been discovered and is there. Yes? Yes. Right. So, this letter, this page for a book, I've sent the lady an email and said, which book was it I sent you? I'm panicking now. But I thought it was too provocative enough not to carry on with the post. And as soon as she gets back to me later, I will give you a rundown on basically what book this is and link it. So it basically says this. This is a contemporary of Benjamin Franklin and Voltaire. I shit you not, this guy who's wrote this. And I got some information on Benjamin Franklin as well. He's definitely in on all of this. Okay, but what it says is this. I'll go from here. The thread which connects us with the Greeks and the Romans would be snapped asunder. The precious productions of ancient literature would no more exist for us than the works there were any, published before the catastrophe which annihilated that highly scientific nation, which accordingly to Bailey existed in the remote ages in the centre of Tartary, or at the roots of the Caucasus, in which, in the sciences, we should have had all to create. This advanced civilization in the Caucasus, or the Tartaria, or this area that I've just spoken of, gave Western philosophy its sciences, guys. I get extra proof. This is fucking real. So this is a guy who's a contemporary. It goes into, that's the only, talks about Troy, but it brings Greece and Rome. It explains sort of between the lines there a cover story for Tartaria. We got all our science from Tartaria, guys. I shit you not, there it is. The guy is quite influential. He's a contemporary of Benjamin Franklin, as I said. Now this is 17, Masonic text, obviously, because it's from Edinburgh, and it's the Britannica, the Encyclopedia of Britannica, under T, but it's a very early one, 1771. And what they say for Great Tartaria, it's sure, okay, is Tartary, or Tartaria, is a vast country in northern Asia, bounded by Siberia, Asia, to the northwest. This is called Great Tartaria. The Tartars lie south also of Muscovy and Siberia. So they're south of Siberia and Muscovy. Their capitals and the peoples are known as Ashtakhan, which I'll show you the capital. The Circassan, I can't pronounce it, and Dagestan, which we've heard of. Now, in John Strew's, he states that Ashtakhan is the capital. I propose that it's not. I propose that it's Kiev. I'll give you my reasons why now, guys. It's one of the biggest imperial cities, okay, in the whole of Asia, and it is these people, these Scaithias, which are the advanced ones that are building all this shit, guys. Okay, I'll show you now. So there it is there, as you can see. Great Tartaria, the Tatars lie forth of Muscovy and Siberia. Those of Ashtakhan. Ashtakhan Circassian, and Dagestan. Okay, situated northwest of the Caspian Sea. Northwest of the Caspian Sea. Okay, the Kalmyk Tatars, they're another type I've seen as well, who lie between Siberia and the Caspian Sea. The Uzbek Tatars and the Mongols, okay, and they lie to the north of Persia and India, and lately those of Tibet, okay, so they're in Tibet as well, okay, they lie northwest of China, okay, but that's not the case. China is part of Tartaria, and Peking is a Tartarian major city, okay, so that is very, very interesting, don't you think? Yeah, I know. So I got to think about Benjamin Franklin. I think I should think about him a lot more. You know, he's got his face up on the Mount Rushmore. He's, you know, the guy was apparently into prostitutes in London, a bit of a pervy apparently. So Freemason, definitely got his face on a dollar, and he was into ballooning in a big way. So he was into aerostat in a big way. So I'm not sure of the full context, but the reading of this, the Bailey, who wrote about that we are in post catastrophe, and we've taken our sciences from Tartary. You've seen that page. So Bailey in 1777 is an acquaintance of the famous Benjamin Franklin. And for two brilliant minds, this first interview seems curious and extreme. We translate the account given by St. A. Bellevue, okay, which is similar to that given by Arago. I'm not sure what that means actually, guys, but it's a conversation between the two greatest minds apparently of the era. Bailey, who's just said that we're a post-apocalyptic or post-flood society, and we've nicked our science or stole our science from Tartary. I'll get the full book later today when she sends back. But I probably got it. I got it here anyway. I gave her the book. I send books out to people, guys. You know this, so you can go through it and then come back, and this is how it's all been working. Like, this is how this has managed to happen. Amazing shit. One of the commissioners was Franklin, okay, celebrated in history and of the sciences and in history and liberty. Franklin, an acquaintance with Bailey. Their acquaintanceship had begun with very singular manner. Bailey had country home in Charlotte and was there most often retired to work in freedom. Chance also brought Charlotte to an American philosopher. Bailey learned of his arrival, hastened to call on him. He entered the home of Franklin, who knew him by reputation, and who received him with the most cordial air. Yeah, I can see Benjamin Franklin now with his glasses. Come in, like that, all jolly. Bonjour, Monsieur Franklin, commented. Comment vous appelez-vous? Fort bien, Monsieur. After these words, Bailey seated himself beside Franklin, and afraid of indiscreet in addressing as a second question to him, waited until the host began. Franklin, silent by nature, more silent still, rank ambassador, did not open his mouth. Okay, is there anything going to be specific coming out of this? No, but it proves, I quite enjoyed reading that anyway. It proves that this guy is somebody, okay, he's an American philosopher. He's a bit of a great mind, it seems, along with Benjamin Franklin. You know what scientific things he was attributed to, invention, etc. So, very, 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 very interesting. These stormy ages, the asylum of sciences and letters, whereof the religious men who, in the sciences of monasteries, occupy themselves in transcribing, in studying, and imitating the works of the ancients. So they're basically reverse engineering, which is what I've said all along. Each survivor race comes in and reverse engineers. Perhaps not one of them could come back down to us. The thread which connects us all is the Greeks and the Romans, who had been snapped asunder. Both of them at the same time, guys. Yeah, I wonder who they were. Precious productions of ancient literature would no more exist for us than the works, if there were any, published before the catastrophe which annihilated a hugely scientific nation, which according to Bailey existed in remote ages in the centre of Tartary. Just let that slide for a second, guys. So, extra evidence came in for who these Tartars are, and this, it's just mad. It just blew my mind when I saw it. This guy was discovered in the Gobi Desert, and he's a 2-meter high giant. He's white, Caucasian. And I've posted on my channel before, guys, that they found, the dynasty of China was Caucasian. Japan too, guys. This is something going on big time. This guy is a giant. He's white. He's in the Gobi Desert. And check this out for a mind blow. He's got clothing on. Okay, after all this time, he's got a specific type of tartan on, like Scottish tartan. And the people who were giving us the information out of Edinburgh are the Scottish, the Freemasons are Scottish. Are we looking at what I think we're looking at? Take a look at this. Excuse me. So he's white and he's 2 meters. So he's like, I don't know if he's 2 meters over that. He's like a 7-footer. He's not like obscenely huge, but do you see these twisting hair? Yeah, it's ginger. It's ginger. He's fair. He's ginger, and he's in the Gobi Desert, guys. Yeah, he was in a mud-flooded grave. Yeah, this thing was on the surface, and he found it under the mud. It's just absolutely crazy. The riddle of the desert mummies, what they do in there, and obviously it's by History Channel, so everything in there you're going to hear from them is going to be utter bullshit. So this was out on a step, okay? Here, exactly where the Tartars we've just placed are. Okay, this guy was a Tartan. This guy was looking big, healthy, really big, really healthy, and beautiful hair. Just the whole thing. You can see that they're just living like they got these beautiful grasslands and these beautiful palaces with gold and onion domes bringing in the energy if they need to invigorate themselves when they go to these cities in this golden era. So that's the area, and they're ginger, and they're white, and they're there. And they got tartan on, guys. If you watch the documentary, they talk about tartan, tartar. And they're in Scotland. Is Scotland part of Tartaria? Are the Celts? The Celts are supposed to be origins in Tibet. Actually, Pakistan of the modern day. Apparently the Celts come from subcontinent Asia. Apparently. Is their origins, according to the official narrative. We move on. Oh yeah, if I am premiering this later, that means that you're in chat now, so please share this info out. I hope after the new year I'm going to be getting this microphone working. I pissed around with it for 2 hours yesterday, drove me nuts, so I didn't want to waste time today with loads of info. John Struce can't be trusted really, but there's no better info out there that I've found on Tartar. It's pages and pages and pages of Tartaria. And he says that this is the horrible massacre in their capital, basically, which is Astrakhan. And it's wrecked. They got a bit of antiquity. There's not much happening. It's not a very high cultured place, okay? They go into some detail, guys. You'd have to read it for yourself. I will link it up. If you don't know about this book, it will blow your socks off. The information in there is like second to none, okay? Really, I've never read anything like it in my life. So this is voyages through these countries of Lifeland, which is Estonia, which, as I told you many times, is where my father is from. Okay, now shall be going into a little bit later. So this is the book, John Strue's. Okay, so I'm going to link it up, and as I said, I don't think Astrakhan was their capital, if I'm honest. I think that was that one sort of northern, more nomadic type of Tartarians. I think the the advanced major civilization was further south. Okay, so there it is, John Strue's through Muscovy, Tartary, India, and most of the Eastern world. And everywhere they go, this sort of thing's happening. And worse. There's death cults, these little tiny god people, which I thought it might be homunculus, turn up like literally everywhere. What the flipping hell is that? Turned up on my book. Not there. So it is the perilous and most unhappy voyages of John Strue's through Italy, Greece, Lifeland, which is Estonia, Muscovy, Tartary. So if you're new to this subject, this is going to blow your socks off, guys. It really is the best of information. I've got a post, it's on my Greatest Story Never Told Loose Ends video, where I go through endless pages, which I've time-stamped in this. Mad stuff. Amazing stuff. So, Tartary. We've analysed and found out that we are a post-apocalyptic society according to Bailey, a counterpart, a friend, an acquaintance of Benjamin Franklin. He states that we stole the science from Tartary that we have. Now, isn't that interesting? And they explain that they're reverse engineering everything after Rome and Greece simultaneously taken out that culture. Yeah, I know. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing what we've been robbed of, guys. So Marco Polo, this is on my Google Books, I'll give you the link though, and it's amazing, it's just stunning images. I'll show you now. It's his voyage along the Silk Road really, but he stumbles upon, there you are, he goes through the Gobi Desert, through the Silk Road, but he goes, mostly he's in Tartaria, and he talks about them, not great depth actually. And they show you some maps. Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese mapmaker, passing Mount Ararat where Noah's Ark was supposed to rest, heard the stories of Baku oil fields. Well, there's been some wars over them in the past. From here he went southeast, of course, of Tigris and Bandas. From Bandas they seem to have had an unnecessary journey to the Persian Gulf. So anyway, it goes on, and it was set in the 1200s, 1300s there, excuse me. I always thought it was bullshit because he doesn't mention the wall if the wall's there at the time. Think about that. And these are the sort of depictions of the old world. Check the architecture, just stunning. So that's in Venice. It's 1400s. God, we had it better back then. It's bleeding rubbish now. I want my money back. I didn't sign up for this reality anyway, and they give you this Tartarian sort of architecture in abundance. Childhood home of Marco Polo, so he was in an Encyclopedia device. No wonder he, if he was real, ended up a thinker and a voyager and a journeyer. We're all explorers really, guys, you know that's what we're doing. We're exploring and we're discovering. So there's some beautiful. So if you like them depictions, what I've got for you now in this post, I know one lady will like them. Mud. They're beautiful. They're made of gold, lazuli, and all the beautiful colours and textures of this era, and they're in the form of a book, and they show you advanced tech. I'll show you. I've got so much to show you in no time. It's so poo. 12 more hours in the day. Okay, 6:30. Okay, we're moving on. So as you can see, device, and that's the dome of the treasury, the Great Mosque of Damascus, the oldest capital on earth, guys. It's like a tree coming up from two towers. Access Monday. Oh, I like that. Beautiful. It's a face, isn't it? There's two eyes in his mouth. And now, this book that is just coming up very shortly, guys, is going to blow your socks off. There's that picture. It is a tree between two towers on a sort of... Ooh, that's very flat earthy. Great Mosque of Damascus. And just the things in the modern day that he would have seen on his travels. And it does get to... did I actually write down what page that he talks to Tartars? Oh, look at that. Dome of the Rock, Jerusalem. Not really, because oh, look at that. Iraq, which has been wrecked by war. Oh my god, look at that wheel. Jericho, West Bank, near Jericho. Taken up by some weapons. Even in the Bible they tell you they use acoustic weapons to take these walls down, guys. You know, it's not like it's just an imaginary thing we all made up. This shit's real. Okay, it's been there all along. And that is what it's all about. That's a power plant. That's a power plant. That's a Tartarian power plant. And it's in Iran. Two towers. Blue lazulite tile. 8th century mosque. And it's just a energy device. The colour in that, guys. So yeah, watercolours. I'm going to show you better than that now in a minute. But I'm going to give you the links. See if we can spot any Tartarians in the 12th century. Because they are in the 12th century. I've seen them earlier. Well, last night. Play music, silks, nice Persian carpets, tile floors, gold, drinks. So they're doing better now then than they are now. It's like in Britain, it's like there's a great 70s revival. It's like whole families living on 10 bob a week. It's excellent. Yeah, it's freaking epic. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just the flower of life in the middle. And that is supposed to be 12th century. Kali collection. Iranian bowl. Ooh. 10th century bronze. St. Petersburg. And that one's trade 10th century and it's in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. Okay, that is superb stuff. So I suppose, I surmising, because of John Struce saying that these... How do I pronounce them? It's difficult. Not the Asakans exactly, but I'm supposing Kiev may be the capital of Tartaria. I'm not saying because of this reason. It's one of the biggest imperial cities. It's like washed out with antiquity, guys, as I'll show you now, and it's got a huge catacomb system underneath. Shit you not, guys. Check this out. Kiev, Prishtrek, Lavra is an essential complex split into two parts, above ground and one below are caves. We're beginning to detail excavations. Monks created a labyrinth underground and catacombs. Check this out. Under Kiev. City of 3 million people, guys. It's one of the biggest cities in Europe. But look at it. I know it's in Asia, but you know what I mean. Look at this. So that's Odessa got them too. Shit. It's funny, all of these Eastern European sort of countries have all got this sort of stuff happening. You have got to be joking. Do you love discovering we're flat with British, guys? Yeah, I know. Wow. Underground tunnels. I wouldn't mind getting in one of these things myself. Check these things out. But there's no mention of any masses of dead. What we got there? We got any deados? Yeah, we got deados. There's deados down there, guys. Okay. Under the Kiev golden, because it's awesome, you know, conductorate of electric is gold. I think that's have to deal with what the big deal is about gold, is it can be used in computer components. Oh, that looks like that dude in Ukraine. That could be a Tartarian. So I think there are a couple of little groundbreaking discoveries there, guys. I think they're really important. Both come in at the same time. Find that big giant as well. And couple it with the information in John Strew's, whatever truths are in there. I think we can safely assume that we're on the right track, guys. We're on the right track. We stole science from these. And what do we do with them? Voila! Just so there's no mistake, 18.5 million people are below the streets of Paris. 18.5 million? Million. It's more than the population of Paris, guys. It's just... I know the official narrative, guys. That's not what's happening. And these are under, as I just showed you, Kiev. They're under Odessa in Ukraine too, on the coast. And this is an imperialist city. It is absolutely beautiful architecture. Surprisingly well intact considering World War II, but Ukraine did fare quite well, compared to Russia in Barbarossa. So, new discovery, catacombs, and Kiev, which I think is more than we know. Wow. So this was all below ground level then, yeah. This is the mud flood coming above it all. This would have been the street. Sheesh. Not bad. So people living down there, I would too. Not live, but visit. Go and have a chill out. Have our man cave, do some of that. Father son stuff. Go out and do stuff like that, we do. So, awesome Dawson. Beautiful place. So, is it the capital for this empire? I feel it is. The southern cultured people had all these sciences that were taken. If the northern Tartarians, the Astrakans, are not as advanced, then I think it's more south. Excuse me. So this is this cathedral where all of these cave systems are below. Okay. Kiev, Prishtik, Lavra, and his giant cave systems all below it, and catacombs built by monks. Absolutely beautiful. Look at all the gold minarets, guys. Maybe, guys, maybe. But you feast your eyes on that, guys. So artworks outside Antiquitech Tower, stepped. And there it is in his mud-flooded past. Caves near Kiev by Dutch artist Westerveld. After events, 1651. Oh. Okay. So a lot of them are restorated, I suppose. And what we got in here is a relic of a saint, Iliad Mormets, and she's laying in there in state. And we got another monument there of Ostrogski. And a Russian, Ukrainian lady, Orthodox pilgrim. Okay, photograph monument of Ukraine. Absolutely beautiful, beyond belief. So I feel this is them. I just feel it. So we move on. Just halfway through this post now, guys. I'm going to be rounding it off in about 25 minutes or so, because I need to get on. I have a podcast later with Robin and Roxanne, so that'll be really cool. So that's what I'll be doing later. I'm going to drink. So I will sort my volume out, all this, over the new year. And flat earth British will be like ballistic, brain melting next year. The things we do for love, eh, guys? Like walking in the rain and the snow. Sing along. So, this blew my flipping socks off. It's the book of natural magic, and it goes into distilling. This is the sort of chapters that it gives you, apart from like sort of changing people into goat man and artificial fire, and a big wow, which is going to flatten you guys. I'm going to love this. Make sure you're seated. Okay, page 389 was a wow. Evidence for technasmia. Okay, and what I mean is this guy says all the cities of Europe had these big massive brass speakers. The wind blew through them and gave the world a beautiful sound. That has been taken away and is gone now, is what it says in this book. Okay. Buckle in, guys. This is an epic one. So, natural magic, and it gives a cooking recipes. Okay, we got cooking recipes. Excuse me, let's get a single page and then I'll blow it up and that'll be the best way. Okay, perfect. For us to... So, it's not like stupid stuff, like there is a lot of alchemy in it, obviously, but they give you recipes of how to create cryptids, animals, how to, they say like to choose the best wolf, the best breed of Alsatian, to cross with certain type of human, to get this cross, so that they would work perfect, like this specific for a ruler, if you was to have a dog-head ruler, it says. It's just weird stuff. So, yeah, natural magic. Okay, Napolitan. And early, it's a J658. 658, before the calendar shifts, before everything went skewed. As you've seen with them events, just talked about, by Bailey and Franklin. J658 is early. And it gives you nature, water, earth. But I tell you what, the information in this, it tells you how to distill water. It tells you how to grow food massive. It talks about hemp. It talks about how to turn seawater into drinkable water, which I'm sure saved a lot of lives. It's important stuff in this book, especially with their knowledge of distilled water. Blew me out of the water, that did. Natural Magic by John Porter. Causes of wonderful things, generation of animals, production of new plants, increasing household stuff, changing metals, counterfeiting of gold, the wonders of the lodestone, strange cures, beautifying women, distillation, okay, perfumery, artificial fires, tempering steel, cookery, fishing, fowling and hunting, invisible writing, a chapter on invisible writing, it's amazing. Strange glass, they talk about how to make glass blowing through perambulator and everything else. Static experiments, pneumatic experiments, and out of chaos is what's in this book. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start on page 29 when they talk about serpents invading the human body and killing people en masse. I am not even joking again. I know, guys, I know. I'm sorry, you poor heads, but I did say sit down. So, but please stick around at the end, okay? Because there's excellent stuff ready to come. So we're looking at 29, page 29, okay, guys? Page 29. Excuse me. Okay, and what we got is this. Is this about the serpent? Yes, it is. It is. A woman, lately married, being in all men's judgment great with child, brought forth instead of a child 4 creatures like frogs, and after her perfect health, but this kind of moon calf, don't know, Paraculus said that it cut the serpents in pieces, hide them in a vessel or glass under the mud. There will be engendered many worms, will nourish by the mud, will grow even one big as a serpent, and that one serpent may have 100 generated. So they put it in mud in a vial, and the one serpent generates hundreds. Okay, and then it goes into they go into the human body, and they take their sources are Pliny the Elder and the Greeks and others. The writers is the only sort of sources at this time, I suppose, because like I said, these are not in vast thousands of years ago, these are recent. So page 32, excuse me, is they talk about, I believe it's the serpent in the human body killing thousands by the river. Is it by here? Salamander in the water. No, there's one up by here, and it says about thousands of men dying because of a serpent in their insides. Okay, drones come of mules. That's weird, isn't it? So 32 coming up. And we've got the River Thames in Scotland there. Woods generated of petrified woods. They're talking about like making creatures alive by sort of innate objects. It gets just nuts. So I can't find that bit about the serpents killing the men, but it is on page 29. I'm going to give you the book anyway, the link's here. Look it up for yourself. You've got to get on. It's crazy stuff. 42 goat men. They talk about, excuse me. Listen, everything in this book is just mind-blowing. The recipes, I'd do them if I were you. They sound absolutely delicious, the food they're doing. They know of everything we got now. I don't know what happened in the 70s, guys, because all the food's disappeared in Britain. We didn't know any of this stuff they're on about in here. Mangoes, 70s, fucking hell, don't know what they were. So that's just in Britain. British people will agree that we never had all that stuff, guys. After the war, my mother never seen like an orange or a banana in the 1950s. Just didn't have them till the banana boat started arriving down Ballydocks. Natural magic husbandry of plants. So that's quite intriguing, guys. Excellent, in fact. 43 though, sorry, 43. And okay, so what did they mention on here is goat man. So they've like literally, they give you the recipe, they tell you how it's done, and they find like half beast and half man and half goat. And they give you like the rundown on how they doing this shit. They create a woman lie with he goats and with the Cenocephalia, which I talk about in other vlogs concerning cryptids. Now it seems they're all around at this time, guys. Okay, and this is only what, like 400 years ago, and I've got like maybe 1,000 texts all stating this same thing. But they go into how it's done. It's just crazy stuff. Let's get up to 291, and they go into Greek fire. But really interesting stuff, guys. Honestly, for 400-year-old, it's very readable as well. Perfumes, if you're interested in them, ladies. Using lavenders and all sorts. It's really easy stuff to follow as well. I'm really into this book. It's awesome. So 389 is what we need. The discovery of Technasmia blew my socks off and verified everything that we've been talking about, basically. So let me get it up to 389. Okay. Concerning wind and instruments. Okay, so what they say is, this guy's saying that in cities, I've spoken concerning a light and heavy, now follow experiments by wind, and there seem to be the following reasons of mathematics, and the air and the water of the philosopher who seeks to find things profitable, and admire the man's sure most insist on these things, contemplate the search them out, and nothing doneth majesty of nature. So no, that's not it. Excuse me. 8, 9. So they talk about basically the cities of Europe having great speakers, brass speakers, and it's not there anymore. So by here, sorry, these are hard because the pages are not corresponding to the pages on the book. See, but I will find it. So 3, 8 by here, 388. So yeah, guys, please shout. See, it's not even going up. That's one page. Okay, so it's here. There. Have you read of some city? Oh, there you are. Have read that in some cities there was colossus of brass placed on mighty high pillars, which in violent tempests of wind from their nether parts received a great blast that was carried from the mouth to the trumpet, that it blew strongly, or else founded some other instrument. And I believe that it has been easy, because it seems like, also I've read many other great authority that they speak of this. Yet, to speak the truth, I give little credit to the man. So what they're saying is there was colossus of brass placed high on pillars, and when wind blew through, it gave a sound like a trumpet. And it goes into more detail. It talks about, if I got this right, this is what it says. They direct, and I've got images of this, they direct sorts of speakers in a certain direction, like a telephone, and a person maybe 5-10 miles away, they say, can hear that one speaker and not the others. If I got that right. And I've got depictions, so it's a straight line of sound from these specific vibrational techniques, and a person can hear it like a telephone at the other end. I'm not joking, that's what it says. Fits right in with some of the evidence of technasmia that I have found. Mind-blowing stuff, I know, but that's what it's saying, guys. Not bad, eh? So we're moving on. So enough in there to keep you chewed over. So we got a wow on technasmia there, and the evidence to their doing cryptids, and there's a chapter on artificial fire, which goes into some detail. Actually, it's quite crazy, and chaos. And the end bit is read it yourself. Okay, it's crazy stuff. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, all of it. So another great discovery, natural magic. And the last chapter is how to make seawater drinkable and distilling water as well. It's just incredible stuff, guys. Okay. And there's some words of wisdom in here as well. The woman that made to cast her clothes off and go naked. Oh, that's all about. See how that caught my attention? Scatatia, remedy of Scatatia. Anyway, so enjoy that book. It'll be linked for the weekend. I'm sure that's going to be interesting. So, what time are we looking at? 7 o'clock. Okay, I got not long, and I got to be somewhere. So I don't mean to hurry, but we've got a little bit left. Okay. Fly British. New Year's Eve postage. These are for beautiful depictions, and they're of Persia. Okay, and they're made in a very rich colour. I'm not going to go through them all. As you can see, they show gold. Let's bring it up. Okay. If it comes up. These Gallicas I had to pull up. If not, I will just link them and you can dig them for yourself. It does show like flying carpets, as you can see, and he's got like a halo around his head, and I'm sure there's many clues to these peoples with great wealth and gold and beauty. So that's in Persia. And the next one is actually India, I believe. But they're richer, same sort of depictions. Rich colour. No, this is Persia, the last one was India, excuse me. But I'll be linking them both, and as you can see, divine colour and ancient. So these are Persia. So let's have a look at some Persian stuff. Okay, let's bring that up. Okay, it doesn't want to really come up, does it, guys, today? For some reason. But that's alright, because I need to get through anyway. So I'm going to pass all this on. It's beauty for the weekend. And I know my subs love all this stuff. Check that out. It's a giant. This Gallica does not seem to be working today, but they are beautiful. So I'm going to pass these on anyway, okay? As you can see, stunning colour depictions with gold leaf of Persia, which has to be part of the empire we just talked about at this period, okay? They got aqueducts look like Roman, and they got thoughts look European, okay? So we can assume just by that one glimpse that these people are advanced, okay? So let's move on. Now mud flood for the rest of this, and then I'm going to go on to images of the day. They are real. This is today in California, okay, last year. Just like we see on all of these buildings we talk about, the mud's coming up so high, and they excavate around the building, okay, get rid of what mud they can, and they pavement over whenever this goes off, okay. This is all over California, not only California, they are in Romania, they are in Indonesia, they are all over, okay. Mud flows, okay, it comes from underground, it can come up mud volcanoes, floods can cause it, obviously rivers bursting their banks and leaving the slurry behind, but for example, okay, so in case you think, oh no, mud floods are a non-reality, obviously if they're happening in the real day and there's a photograph of one there, they're happening, okay. Okay, so there's a mud flood. This could be water as well. All the mud we could be looking at obviously could be the mud left from the silt of Noah's flood, guys, what they call Noah's flood, not long ago. Okay, so this is another book I'm passing you guys. It's just because of the beauty of depictions, and it's bank holiday coming up, isn't it? So and it gives you like sort of them again. So Lee Flat of British, my brother, posted yesterday a chestnut with a link with some beautiful depictions, which we're going to look at now. I'm going to link you up to my old mate Lee. What's he got there? So we can spot any fascists. And it's been a hell of a year, you know, for us all, really, hasn't it, guys? But as you know, next year it's going to be different. So, you know, if there's anyone out there that needs any content, like, you know, and they want to make videos and they can't think of anything, ask me. I've got like millions, you know. I'm sort of help. It's just time. I can't like allocate loads of work out to everyone. I haven't got any like, secretary or anything. I just can't manage. I try. And I had 1,000 comments on my last day's work, and quite a few views too. So my interview with Philip Drusinin, which was absolutely amazing. I'm glad you all enjoyed. And the same night I went on D Marble's Darren Marble's show. Yeah, Big Darren Marble. You want to check that out yourself. You're going to hear a lot more about these associated topics from young Darryl, because he's definitely getting into it. They all are now. Everybody seems to be. The flavour of the month for 2019 or so, they say. Okay. And here's our civilization. They call Greco-Romano, taken out in events not long ago. Some of this, there's the faceless night there, guys, everywhere. Stunning, isn't it? So if you see these arches in anywhere where you live, in whatever city you live in, I can guarantee you they never built them in the Victorian or the Edwardian era. What's this? Let's have a mag up. There's a cannon. and some sort of ballista bolt, and Roman soldiers. So Roman soldiers and cannons, is it? Or is that a cannon? Looks like very unusual.
The Romans never had cannons, did they?
No, not really. It's all about a bit changing a bit. It's all going to be strange. Everything's changed. Fasces. Oh, look at this. Excuse me. She's got a fasces. He's pointing at the word quatre strands y but. He's got a big club and they're controllers. Okay. Not bad. So we're moving on. Cities. People send me images of their cities, and I'm looking on the west coast of America. I'm going to maybe go to South Africa. Look at Johannesburg, maybe that later. But Vancouver destroyed again. This one's mad on the head. 15 minutes the whole city gets destroyed, okay? Now I've told you and explained on my Hardwick Stone video, nothing is being built in California or on the west coast of stone at this period. Yeah? Portland is the most beautiful city you've ever seen of antiquity. All of it looks like the Vanderbilt mansions. And we'll look at it in a minute. But Vancouver, 1886, fire burnt down all of Vancouver in 15 minutes. On June 13th, 1886, a curious fire destroyed Vancouver in less than an hour. It ignited after flames from a brush clearing fire blew out dry brush into the west of the city. About 1,000 wooden buildings, virtually the entire city centre, were destroyed, and the next day citizens began rebuilding the city one piece at a time. Sounds like a fucking fairy story. Yeah, first thing you're going to think about when you got killed all night is getting working and building. Here are 8 photos to tell a story of the fire. So we got clearing brush near present day Hastings and Seymour Street. So they were clearing brush and it caught the city alight, is the tale. So that's the photo was taken only days before the fire, eh? Isn't that flipping convenient? Can't see much of the city there, but there looks to be a lot of masonry already destroyed there, doesn't there? What's this? Or is that a giant tree? Okay, and then Vancouver just after the fire. Oh, shitski. They still got telegraph poles up though, but not much else. Trees still there. So approximately 1,000 wooden buildings. Essentially the entire city was ravaged by fire. The only few buildings that survived were the Hastings Mill, the stone building in the West End, few buildings near Foss Creek. So there you are. So on the peninsula, the whole of Vancouver completely destroyed. Less than an hour. Nothing going on now. So they started rebuilding. Vancouver's temporary post office. John Levy. He just made a epic video on post offices. So missed that one. It's a mud flooder. And work on just after the fire. So they've marked out where the things are today. So highly interesting, and they're saying that they were wooden buildings. Are they wooden buildings? Destroyed buildings, the Great Fire of 1898. No, they're not, are they? They're like red granite Tartarian buildings, and they're massive masonry, and these are huge walls, and they're not like wooden, so they're telling a bit of a porky there. So Vancouver destroyed like every other city in America, and look at these lot of fucking don't know what. Maybe they're nice, who knows. So anyway, so Vancouver and Portland, Oregon, definite massive mud flooder. I've proposed that this area was specifically bad hit. This is an excellent site. Greetings from Portland. And it gives you the history. Again, strange circumstances, destroy the city. And every single city in America. Nobody's asking questions till now. Broadway at night, the Great White Way, Portland, Oregon. all electrified. Some of the first advancements in America were in Portland, like the first electrifying on the West Coast, not New York. So what we got here, postcards as we know them were first published in 1901, prior to the event, where the small trade cards as well as postal cards were usually carried advertising. Trade cards became popular and enterprising merchants in the 1870s, 1890s with the advent of the camera. So, shame you can't give us some photographs of all these buildings being built then, eh? Whatever is going on, guys. Look at that. Huge fairground. New art photography spawned. Coney Island in New York. Printed 2,000 postcards. And here is beautiful Portland. I got some photographs downloaded of Portland. Blow your socks off. It's too beautiful. They had an exposition, the Lewis and Clark Centennial Expositions, and it was in 1905. You can only just guess what happened, can't you? All of them. Same memo, guys. Same memo. Okay, check these. Civil War. And beautiful architecture already in situ in Portland in 1872. Okay. And the exposition. And they got 3 million visitors in 1905. And they had the first electrified steam or streetcars in, apparently they were 1905 streetcars, and they were electrified, and they were some of the first. Look at that. Portland's unique corner covered arched lampposts, 3rd Street, 1930s. Beautiful. And in the 1900s, electricity was a new phenomenon. It was a key in many modern conveniences. Electricity proved to be the energy to transport masses and light our world. It changed the life as we know it. No, it's bullshit. It was there before. Only we weren't there. You've got all the photographs. You're just handing them out, lying about the age of photography, lying about it all. History, 100% fake ass. Nice. Coney Island got one of them. In Wales as well, we got a Coney Island. Only it's a little bit cheesier. Maybe not. Okay, so more information about Portland. Okay, very interesting, and as you can see, big buildings. Who knows? Big stone buildings. So anyway, we're moving on because of the time aspect. I'm going at 7 o'clock and I'm going to be somewhere in 1 hour. So, photos of the day, and we're going to be moving on. Now, someone out there is about to get a bright red face. Okay, now, I sent some of my people, keep coming over. I use Martin Matson's on my Facebook, okay, because my Martin Litka, is 5-6-year-old, and I haven't got the password to get back in it, and all my school friends and my Globe shit is on there. I can't stand it. They wouldn't let me in with Martin Matson. Okay, so I put Matson's, an S on the end. It's my father's family's name. Here's evidence. I've got my father's war records and other. Not that I've got to show anybody anyway, but I really want to see this person, or think of this person sat with the bright red face right now. This is a letter to my grandmother, Elsa. Okay, Elsa Matson, which is Estonian. Okay, and this is my Uncle Oscar, who was killed in World War II. This is a letter given to my grandmother, okay, from Field Marshal Mannerheim. Look, he signed it itself. I've got a big picture of this up on my wall in my passage. My father served with the Finnish and Boys Unit, Boys Brigade, with my Uncle Oscar. Okay, apparently I'd be told I'm a lot like this guy. Okay, he's a war hero. Okay, so I use my father's family's name, okay, on my Facebook. And some people are pathetic. Busted. Shitty. Anyway, so it's pathetic, guys. Listen, if anybody wants to, like, you know, like I said, I think it's definitely better people work together and creating division, not with jealousy and all of that. Is pure transparent, and it don't look good in the long run, or anyway, thanks for the free adverts. I'm buzzing about that. It's really, really cool. Thanks. Cheers. So, house cleaning, sometimes these are mad. We got some good stuff here, guys. So it's pictures of the day. Going to take up 15 minutes more of your life. All of it is excellent anyway. Mud flood, obviously. So how do you think this happened, guys? They built all this. It's all smashed through time. No, man. An event came through. Mud. So this is an old map that was passed to me again. All you peeps sends me stuff. I can't remember all your names, and I don't really know if you want your name shouted out in front of all these thousands of people all the time anyway. So like, let me know if you want to be shouted. Otherwise I'm just going to keep stum. But thanks. God bless you all. Thanks. So this is the Black Sea. Okay, this is the Crimea. Okay, Tartaria is north of the Black Sea. Tartaria is west of the Black Sea. East of the Black Sea, excuse me. Okay, and this is the Ukraine up here. So I'm thinking, it says Tana there. I'm thinking that these southern Tatarians are the ones they stole the science from. I'm thinking further north towards a steppe, you know, they might have been a bit more, you know, nomadic. So that's that thing with Bailey, and that's evidence which is mind-blowing, telling you that they took the science, they created the science there. Look, in the science we should have had all to create from Tartarian knowledge. Mind-blowing. London excavation of a Roman site and apparent Roman ship in London in 1915, I think, or 1911. Okay, and they find Roman statues because this culture's under the mud. And you can see under London here, guys, there's walls here, and this is in 1912. Oh no, they're in later clothes there, guys. So anyway, it's an excavation. I'll find out in a minute. And as you can see, there's London buildings, doors, windows, all below street level. And here, walls, all below street level. Now every city, Cardiff, Manchester, Birmingham, every single British city has this as well. And they say this is Rome, but it's not. It's that civilization that's just been taken out. But they found a Roman ship. Okay, now, one of them. Probably fitted up with Antiquitech. That's a colour, watercolour. Now this is a Roman galley, or a galley, excuse me, not Roman, is it? It was a galley found under 9/11 when the Twin Towers came down. Apparently there was a boat, an old boat underneath. They found it, and when as you can see, the ladder here, scanners. Okay, it's a boat, and it was found under the Twin Towers. Okay. This is the boat that was found in that Roman dig in London in the 1900s. Okay, Roman boat in London, 1900s. Boat found under 9/11 in New York after the events. Rome, or the people called Rome, Greco-Romano, were in America. Mud flooded world. All of this. There's snow on the ground. That is a pathetic idea to put a window there. It's really, really bad. So some HD pictures of Portland. They have a big Chinatown. And here's Portland in its beauty. Look at it. All like mansions. It's absolutely stunning. There's a lot of stone buildings here, churches, and that beautiful mountain. Oh, beautiful place. But check the resonator there, guys, on top of the church, just like in Russia. Sweet, isn't it? So, guys, Happy New Year to you all. Let's enjoy it next year. It's going to be epic. Okay, just make sure to subscribe, come back, and we'll have a roller coaster ride of entertainment and fun and discovery all year long. Just change all our lives. Set your intent. Okay. Portland, mud flooded all-wheel buildings. Portland, onion domes. Yeah, it looks like the bottom bit looks like this Anglican Christian church. The doorway's halfway up because obviously there's something has happened. You don't put a doorway up in the air, it's down here. Cymatic patterns, yes. Islam or onion domes on the top. Portland. Portland, after its fire being rebuilt, apparently. Just a beautiful Victorian girl, because she come up on the photographs of Victorian beautiful girls, and I thought you would appreciate it, fellas. So Victorian beautiful girl. Victorian beautiful. I use Victorian, forget that. Gilded era, gilded age apartments, and this is how they're living. Don't know. I believe it's in Indonesia, and it's a shithole. What's hanging out the windows, I do not know. I think their mattresses drying off, and curtains and clothes, but that is a true slum. Sheesh. Just a bit of room in the corner of a street somewhere. But she's definitely room left over. And another beautiful Victorian lady. That one's Turkish. Looks like a little Vanderbilt mansion again. In Portland, just left between two buildings. All-wheel mansion. Massive doors going deep. And another Victorian beauty. That's just treats for you. And another treat for you fellas. Boot. Das Boot on beautiful blue water. I know. Fires. Now they say, oh, these buildings are destroyed, etc. Or no, we built this, we built that. But what you're finding, guys, is the superstructures, the outsides are sort of there, and the insides are getting replaced. And they got exactly the same on a few buildings in my city. The college, for example, they got an 1800s building with a skyscraper behind it. So you can see, it's just all being rebuilt inside. They keep the initial structure. So they take out the mechanism. Red granite brick, massive doors, Gothic columns, and this is in Portland. Don't know, I think it's in Portland as well, but it's, look at this for mad mud flood, guys, apart from it being beautiful. Right? Posing terraces, beautiful art, but you don't put a front door upstairs, halfway up the wall. If you build a house, you just don't, guys, alright? And here's a window down here, which would be the window on the ground level, and the door would have been behind these steps. These are put in later, this concrete, okay? So, beautiful mud flooder. Up in the air, looking all weird. More of Portland, but as I said, if this is a turn of the century or 1800s photographs, how long's that building been there to have all that ivy grow around it and look so old, guys? Looks like it's been there 100 years already, doesn't it? Not 20. These are the New York mansions of Fifth Avenue, the Vanderbilt, etc. And they're all Antiquitech, Gothic style buildings you never seen the like of in your life. They're everywhere, look. All mud flooders, all old world, don't be long, and a big tail towed about them. You can't get the photographs of these things being built. Look at the size of this. Okay, and these Antiquitech, okay, bringing in the charge. Now that is a massive installation, but I'm thinking people are wondering if that is the cause of mud flood, is when Antiquitech goes wrong, causing a great somatic wave through our plane. And I think these are images from Leaf Out of British Sub. He gave me a link yesterday. I'm going to give you the link for his channel, and he gives you a link for all of these pictures that he gives us for Boxing Day treats. Look familiar? So you've got a big stupa, all grass, no roads, no sewers, no gutters, no drains. There's no sewers, but they can build that. And all of this. Greco-Romano with the stupa, and you're in Rangoon. So it's Burma. Or Manima, whatever it's called. Now that is a Piranesi circuit board city. It's Piranesi the artist from 1700s, and he draws Roman cities, and they are doubles of circuit boards. I talk about them a lot, considering electricity is electric city. These are electric cities, like Machine City in Matrix. There it is, and you can like literally get a computer. Look at this screen, save this, open your computer side and have a look at your motherboard. Right, they match completely. all of this is electrical componentry, yet the streets and colosseums and whatever, all device. They're the Tartarians. Okay, the link came up for Tartarians. They have this squirrely poles, and they have sort of European blonde-haired knight type things. And these are Middle Ages, and these are apparently Tartarians, and they are Caucasian. They are Caucasian. And they have high society. These are not Caucasian. So that's apparently Tartarian. They have 3 half moons there. 1, 2, 3. Any more clues? What's that up there? So they got good stuff anyway. And there's Tartarian maps again. Okay, so a bit of good information I feel concerning Tartaria. Beautiful Antiquitech pagoda. So it's a stepped or a nested pyramid for creating energy, free energy device. More mud flooded antiquity below ground level. A big rock. I think that's the Red Fort at Rangoon again. I'm not sure. I have seen this before. Venkat, what the hell is it? All the windows are all blocked up. So there was all windows in this. Or were they windows? Was this emanating vibration like that would have through the somatic window? I've seen this many times. It's in the the desert near Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. How and why? Beautiful, nevertheless. Don't know what I could say about that. Mud inundated Egypt. Tower of Babel looking very, very similar to the EU Parliament building. And all the monuments below the Giza Plateau. And the original Sphinx who got mutilated was an indigenous lady of that country. And she's been perverted and just messed up by evil people. So, Van de Graaff generator. Send an electric charge into this device. And this device is wirelessly maybe. Not sure. There's a prop maybe. 2 there. 2 more Van de Graaff generators. Hand cranked electricity. What date we looking at? To have this sort of caper. So this is readable. Captain Kirk posted good discoveries on Ancient Tech as well today, guys. Check it out. Link it up. 99. Can't really get that. But anyway, nice bit of kit. Not sure what it does, but it's electric being used. Van de Graaff generator. You can run that by a crank handle. Get a charge. Guys, I don't even know. Please, if you are here in chat, share this out, guys. Please, 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 thumbs up and get my word out there. New year will be different. So I have a better microphone. The information is going to blow your socks off. Greatest Story Never Told number 11 is coming in January, and more besides. What's this? It says electronics in Berlin, and it's a ginormous metal ring. Is this a magnet? Is this an electron magnet? What are they doing with a large wheel of an electron magnet, guys? Is this for maglev technology? Is it like Stargate? What are we looking at, guys? It's 2 plinths to hold it up. It looks like it's a magnet, an electron magnet. It is an electron magnet. Why that big? And what are they doing? Wow. Good find, Lee. Good find. Luciferian light. Don't know what they're doing. It's all alchemical old world. A little camp below the pyramid with pencil drawn in people and an aerial. These are solar lamps. These are sodium lamps. These are basically not satellites because they don't exist. These are emanating sodium, it would seem. Lee Flight of British Sub posted about these this morning. So I think they're growing stuff at night like sodium lighting. Well, I'd have to look into it. That's what sodium lighting does. So you've got a World War One troop down there, which is, I don't know what's going on. Why a Tommy? It looks like a Tommy out of World War One and a troop, doesn't it? Might be wrong. What's he doing in a smashed up society, guys? With like people from the Asians. Do you know, I was thinking, with 1,000 videos I've done, I must have done like, or presented maybe 10,000 different pictures. Because I never do the same twice, sadly, if I can help it. If I do, I'm like, oh, I've done the same thing twice. This guy was sitting there when the mud came, right? He's sitting there, he looks around, if it's real, as you can see, and the mud came in that deep. See? And he's sort of petrified. Don't know if it's real. It's like, it reminds me of Pompeii, but they've dug him out and he's just sat there, like, you know, and he's just petrified in a moment in mud. Probably maybe boiling. Yes, that's a genius idea. I like that. Don't think my rabbit will get me very far though, but who knows. So this is that Technasmia. You've got a giant star form, and this guy just states in that book that there was giant speakers, giant brass speakers catching wind on tempests and storms and emanating stuff out. And what you've got here in the centre is a giant lady with a trumpet in a star fort. Is this the weapon? And they're in the star fort, guys, and there's a giant lady with a trumpet. Is this the weapon? Think about it, guys. So that's a really highly technological star fort for such an early period. Where are we looking at? Got a beast, allegorical for a country. And it says Buzzbud. Buzzbud. Cool. And a lot of fairy tale cities, which you cannot identify, but looks Germany. Antiquitech. Mud flood. Antiquitech building and aerials. Aerials. Okay. Aerials. So what do you think they do? Antiquitech. And smashed up remains of something or other, and mud. Because can't do sewers. Antiquitech. Onion domes, electrostatic charge gatherers, resonators, to be stored inside, used later. So what we're looking at here is mud flood as well, and some smashed ruins. Reanimation of animals' heads, maybe. Who knows? A giant girl, 7'6". She could be Tartarian. She's got, her name is Elizabeth Lasker, 11-year-old. Wow. She's a big girl. Somebody left their welly outside the house, giant, and went home. Sweet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't even have to count them, Leon, I knew that. And the two sort of fleur-de-lis, one up, one down. Not Mary. One up, one down. Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, we keep it classy round here, don't we, guys? Mud flood. So these are in Portland as well. Okay, as you can see, it's a really big mud flooded. I think it's an institution or some sort of factory. And this is when they discovered the entrance to the Pyramid of Giza. Like literally the same day or something. That's some tech. That's some masonry. Pipes. Under all cities and these tunnels, but there's a load of pipes under everything. What are all the pipes for? And check this pipe place, guys. It looks like a railway station of the Victorian era. Again, just for pipes. Check on Google. abandoned factories. This one's outside of Portland again. Vitrified stone in Saskatchewan, and these are the famous. There's a fort on top of this hill, if you know, and these are the famous polygonals of Saskatchewan. And what you see is something's hit it, and it's been hot enough to melt stone. Okay, so that's a plasma event. The old world just gone before us. We didn't build this. There's an aerial on top of there. It's not a flagpole, there'll be a flag on it. And this is 98. Listen to this, guys. Coliseum in Regent's Park, 1824-29. Thomas Horner, right? Panoramic design, architect. Check this out. A futuristic. 1824. All the wires. Gee, I wonder what it done all together. And a lady sent me this in from America. Thank you very much. I can't remember your name because there's too many coming in. But it's a 350-year-old tree apparently. So thanks for taking that. Mud. Okay, so we're running up to the end of this vlog now, guys. So I'm going to be back. Oh, a lot of mud there. I'm going to be back in a day or two. So I want to wish you all a happy New Year. This is going to be an epic New Year, guys. I promise you that. Okay, so please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Keep this beautiful experience going, and I will do my very best to bring you the best available content on the internet. And there's a lot coming up next year, guys. Basically, YouTube could pull a plug on me any day. I could wake up and my channel could be gone. I'm on my, I'm not really safe on YouTube, but my information is safe. I download everything, and other people do, so it's safe. But it could all disappear. Okay, so I am looking into next year now, early next year, looking into being part of a website, a very, very cool website, devoted to the subject of history. Okay, and this sort of field. And associated subjects, and it will be very, very cool and very big. Okay, and I'm going to get involved with that because I feel YouTube is got new restrictions coming in April. Excuse me, early next year, and it's just going to annihilate any freedoms we did have to speak. And I think with the heat on me at the moment, and fucking dozen hit pieces a week and everything else because of all the eyes on us, and they don't like think tanks, guys. They don't like this shit going down. So I'm just going to make sure the flag of British carries on going, alright, and the information lives on, and this experience of sharing information carries on. Look how many answers we got because we did this, guys. There's a Greco-Romano thing in a star fort in St. Petersburg with an aerial. Winter Palace. Excellent picture of St. Petersburg, and all from an aerial perspective. And there's that strange energy gathering bollard in St. Petersburg. So that's me at past 7. I'm going to need to go now, so this link will be put into the descriptions box. I had these all off Lee yesterday. More vitrified stone. A giant with Happy New Year with that one. A pyramid. Just there you go. Old-fashioned railway stuff. Petrified. After the flood, been laying under there for so long. Okay. Fancy pair of Walkmans. And Piranesi circuit board cities. And this is the society we've just had. It's gone before us, guys. We've just missed out on. Replaced for a septic, evil cesspool full of selfish people who can't see beyond selfish thoughts and dollars. Swastikas in there as well for apparent Rome, Tower of Babel. Wow. So how do you think they've done that, guys, with the skin actually squashing in? Jesus, that is amazing. So I've shown some of these before, so that is me out of here. Right, I'm going to round off now, people. Flat Earth British New Year's Eve post. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow, but by the time this goes up, it will be that sort of time, New Year's Eve. And I gotta get on. That's my effort for today. So what have we learned? We've learned that Tartaria, I give you the boundaries, definitely advanced, and it looks like we stole the science from them, covered it up and wiped them out. I feel that maybe Kiev is, you know, principal in the story because of the giant catacombs, etc. underneath, and its situation, you know, where it's situated. I don't feel it's at. I don't feel it's further north than capital. I just don't. But maybe I'm wrong. And you know me, I chop and change as we go, and I'm learning new information. I don't stick and get entrenched with one idea. I change along the way. Thank you, lady, for my awesome 4 angels. The Ring of Fire. That's what it says. Kazine Orgonite, always evolving. Guardian Angels. Michael is Sugulites. Gabriel, Citurite. Uriel, Amber. Raphael is Amber. Oh, is Emerald, excuse me. By Dennis Woods, and they all do cool things, but you can feel cool air coming off here. So weird. Dissipates, helps dissipate EM, and there's all manner of benefits. So that's me for the day. Yeah, so we've learned quite a bit, haven't we? And you know, there's a lot for you to look over, and I'm going to link up a lot of stuff as well. Now I'm going to need to get off because I've got to be somewhere soon, and I need a cuppa. Okay, peace and love to you all, people. Good intent, okay, and good vibes to all of those who keep being silly billies and jealous when there's no needs. You know, I prefer to work together, but you know, just silliness behind for the sake of humanity. But that's just me. Maybe people have change of hearts and stop being so spiteful. Okay, it's not good. Okay, whenever you do things like bad energy things, there's a certain comeback, you know. So don't do that, because I love when I say these things. Go in, make sure to subscribe before you go, guys, and before you go, click that like button if you liked what you see. Okay, peace and love.